All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle a really powerful idea, how to actually find some freedom from that endless chatter that's always going on in our minds. We're going to explore this whole concept of presence and see how it can literally change our entire experience of life. So, let's get started.
So let me start by asking you a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Are you actually in control of your thoughts? Or do you kind of feel like you're being dragged around by a constant stream of worries and memories and things you need to do, even when you don't want to be? Because the answer to that question, well, that's the key to everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so if we often feel like our thoughts are controlling us, then what or who is doing the controlling? Well, that source of all that inner noise, it has a name, and you know it well. It's that non-stop voice in your head.
That voice, that's the product of what we call the ego. And this is the most important thing to get. The ego isn't the real you. It's not your true self. Think of it more like a program running in the background, a constant automatic stream of thoughts and feelings that are all based on your past. And this program builds a whole story, a fake identity that most of us believe is who we really are. So what does this egoic voice actually look like in our day-to-day lives? Well, it's basically the source of so much of our negativity. You know that flash of irritation when someone cuts you off in traffic? The impatience you feel waiting for a file to load? Or just that general, I'm so over this feeling that can just hit you out of nowhere? Yep, all of that is the ego making an appearance.
Now here's where it gets really weird. It's a total paradox. We all think we want to be happy, right? But there's a part of us, that ego, that actually gets a strange kind of satisfaction out of being negative. It thinks complaining is useful or that getting angry is a power move. It feeds on that drama, and that right there is the trap that keeps us stuck in a loop of unhappiness.
So, if the ego, which is built from our unconscious past, is the problem, what's the solution? Well, this quote right here, it gives us the key. The answer is awareness. And awareness, for our purposes, really just means presence. It's the only thing that can actually set you free.
And that brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing, understanding the incredible power of presence. This chart just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the difference. The egoic mind is never really here. It's always lost somewhere in the past, replaying old scenes, or it's worrying about the future. It's constantly fighting against the present moment and just blindly reacting to things. Presence, on the other hand, is the total opposite. It's being anchored right here in the now. It's accepting what is, and it's making that critical shift from just reacting on autopilot to consciously observing. And this, right here, is the great liberation. When you can become present, it's like a space opens up inside you. You have this sudden realization that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions. You are the deep, quiet awareness that's just noticing them. You become the watcher. And in that space, that's where you find your freedom.
Okay, I get it. This whole idea of being a watcher might sound a little abstract. So how do we actually get into this state of presence? Like, for real? Let's walk through a super simple, direct, and honestly incredibly powerful practice, feeling your inner body.
You can even try this right now. If it's safe for you to do so, just close your eyes for a second. Pull your attention away from your thoughts and just put it into your hands. Can you feel that? A subtle tingling, a sense of aliveness, an energy inside them? Don't think about it, just feel it. Now, let that feeling of aliveness spread up your arms, into your chest, down your legs, until you can feel your entire body as one single, vibrant field of energy.
That feeling, that is what we mean by the inner body. It's not your physical flesh and bone. It's the life force that's animating it. And it acts like a bridge, connecting your physical body to that deeper, formless awareness that is your true self.
And the benefits of doing this are just profound. This simple practice instantly anchors you in the here and now. It's a powerful antidote to negativity. And the source material even suggests that by connecting with this life energy, you can strengthen your immune system and boost your body's own ability to heal. So when you start to make this inner body awareness a regular thing, something really profound starts to shift. It leads you to a deeper realization, one that goes way beyond just yourself. And that brings us to our final big idea, unity with all life. Think about it. When you're completely present with another person, the whole dynamic of the relationship changes. It's not just two egos talking at each other anymore. A kind of shared awareness opens up between you, a quiet space of connection. And in that state, the words you're saying become way less important than the quality of the presence you're sharing. That's where real relationships begin.
This connects to that beautiful idea from the mystic Rumi, the silence that we find in presence, that space of awareness that has no words. That is our connection to the deepest reality. All our thoughts and all our words are just, poor attempts to translate it.
And this all leads to the ultimate takeaway. You aren't your name. You aren't your job. You aren't your body or the story your mind has created about you. All of that stuff is temporary. Your true essential identity is the formless, timeless consciousness that was there before all of it. It's that simple, profound awareness of, I am.
So I want to leave you with a final thought to just kind of sit with. We always say, my life, don't we? As if it's a possession, something we could gain or lose. But what if that's just a complete misunderstanding? What if life isn't something you have, but something you are? And what if you and the totality of life are and have always been one and the same?